A lot of new players are always looking for something simple to work with, but they want something that sounds really melodic, complicated. They want to sound like they're actually doing something more than a very simple chord progression, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the way to learn. You start simple and you get more complicated. And a lot of times, people will learn simple things and they don't understand how to step it up. Here's something really easy for you to work with. It's just a set of power chords that are on the fifth and fourth strings, and you're just going to run up and down. It's really simple. You're going to start on the 7th fret and then root your index finger on the 9th fret, and that's your shape. That's pretty much the whole shape you're going to keep. I mean, there's one little thing that I throw in here where it's just a basic A chord, simple. Pointer finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. Just a really simple chord. First, I'll show you just how to actually hit these chords and how to play them. And it's just going to be a simple bang and boom and bang and boom. Just a really simple progression. Every now and then I throw this in there. You'll see, it's really simple. I don't know it's funny. I practically have the guitar grimoire memorized, but I can't tell you most chords by their name. I mean, I can tell you the basic open chords by name, but majority of chords I can't tell you their names. So I'm not a scholar. I just play. I enjoy playing. So it's, there's a lot of things you can do with this, but here's the basic of it. I'll just show you really simple, just playing this using nothing but the 2 strings, making a simple power chord. And then I'll show you what I do, because I'm playing a 12 string, so it's very melodic, and I play a lot of open strings with it. But first I'll show you the really easy way to do this. That's pretty much it. It's, as you can see, you just keep your fingers right there on that one design. Occasionally you throw that A in there, but it's really simple. And then to start blemishing it up, you know, and start throwing some flourish in it and give it your own style. This is the way I've been playing this since I came up with it, because I got a 12 string. It's really melodic, so it works out really good with a lot of open chords. And that's the thing nice about the power chords. If you take your time and you really practice around your power chords, you find there's a lot of things you can do with power chords. And I'm going to make this really come to life now. And there's a lot of different things you can do with that. I mean, as you can see, I mean, it sounds like two. It sounds the same, but at the same time, it sounds completely different. And you don't even have to actually play it on that, on the, I guess that you would consider that the key of A. You can actually come up here and play it on the key of E if you want something deeper. But it doesn't sound as good when you're hitting them open strings. So you have to find some different things to do with it. you can come up an octave, you can come up higher, come over here and use your D string as your root, so I guess that would be the key of D. There's a lot of different things you can do with it, but just using that simple chord progression, you can go all over the place and you can make different, and you don't even have to play it in them order. I mean, you can change up the order and how you're playing it. You can start, let's start up here in the key, up here with the A. I mean, just because they're simple chords doesn't mean you can't make them into something really, you know, amazing. Has a lot to do with voicing. That's you know, when you're playing with these strings while using that power chord. I mean, some of them, they just sound natural. But then other ones, they don't sound natural when you come up here and you start that in the key of E. See, it sounds out of tune, but it doesn't mean that you can't embellish it. It's just the way you voice it. And that's really the secret to learning to play guitar. I mean, the way you learn to play guitar is you have to enjoy playing guitar. If you do not, if you make learning to play a guitar a chore, you're not going to enjoy playing the guitar. And so all you're ever going to be is you're just going to be up there, you're just going to be a robot, and you're going to play very boring things. I mean, even when they sound to somebody who doesn't play, they might sound totally awesome, or someone who's just starting to play, they might sound really, really awesome. But once you start to learn how to play, and it just sounds really, really boring. But once you learn that voicing technique, that's the secret to learning to play guitar. And there I just showed you, I did, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 different voices. And I actually, basically I used the same chords. 1, 2, 3, 4 chords. Occasionally I threw in a 5th chord. But they were basically, it was always the same chord shape. And it was always, almost always the same progression. Sometimes I mixed it up a little bit for a couple things, but generally it was the same pattern. It's just all about the voicing, especially with an acoustic. With an electric, it's a lot about voicing too. There's a lot of things that you can do with an electric that once you start to learn how to use your wah-wah, and you learn how to use different effects, and you learn how to actually dial in your reverb and dial in your echo and dial in your chorus, and you can play the same exact chords and change the dialing of those things combined, and even play them in the same exact pattern, and even hit the strings the same exact way, and yet you can make them sound like different songs every time you change the dialing once you start to learn how to use your effects. It's all about the voicing, and it's about utilizing the tools with that voicing. So that's something really simple, and you can play it on an electric too. This is something that you can, I imagine you could throw some, actually here, I got my tone wood here. Let's see, we'll throw, I'll turn my tone wood wasn't even on. We'll turn it on and do some things here with the voicing. I like auto wah. Let's try it with the auto wah. Okay. I don't really care for the distortion too much, but let's see. Let's put on some distortion or overdrive. Actually, oh yeah, distortion, overdrive, same thing on here. Turn the drive all the way up. Where's my gain? Turn the reverb almost all the way up. Give it a lot of gain. If we bring it over here to the E, let's try doing something a little bit more, throw some more. And don't get discouraged when you make mistakes. I mean, I've actually made mistakes a couple times there. Most of the time I just have enough experience now where I know how to carry it through. But my best friend taught me to play guitar, and one of the first lessons he taught me was Never get discouraged by a mistake, and never forget the mistake, and never put the mistake to waste. Let the mistake, when you find a mistake that you keep commonly making, learn how to use that mistake to your advantage. And over time, those mistakes will become part of your technique, because you're going to learn where you can actually use the mistakes and where you can throw that mistake in some place where it actually gives, even as when you're doing a cover song, it will give your cover song your style or your flavor. So don't get discouraged by mistakes. Mistakes are a way of learning, but mistakes are also what are going to shape you. So as you can see, that was just with simple power chords. Did a lot of different things there, and I did that on an acoustic. I mean, if you got an electric and you're using drop tuning and all that stuff, and there's a lot of things you can do with that. So it's really, that's just the point, to show you how much voicing will make some simple chords really turn into a lot of really original little things that you can show off to your friends, and that there is a simple pattern that you can play with. You don't have to play it the way I played it. You can switch them all up. You can do anything you want with that pattern, but it's a really simple pattern, and it's an easy way for you to really start advancing as a beginner. That's what it's really to help you do as a beginner. It will really help you start advancing. I hope it helps.